Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, 2025. Tom Cruise gives an introduction to this film, explaining that it's one of many because there have been quite a few. Can't remember exactly how many since the first one in 1996, the first film. I went to see that with a friend who I'm no longer in touch with, and that first one we felt was disastrous. We had a sort of three strikes policy, and it was one of the three that meant when we hit the third one that we both didn't like, we stopped going to the cinema, which is kind of sad. Obviously, I've been to the cin I've been to the cinema many times since, by myself and with other friends. But yeah, 29 years ago, I guess it was about May 1996. The date, 22nd of May, that year comes up a lot, and that was 29 years from yesterday. So I have to look up when it was released. But this, one of the things was it was 170 minutes in length. And so I had to be prepared. I'm not very good in really long films. But this wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I had a good night's sleep last night. That helped. I I kept awake throughout, which is really good. Some films I remember, Killers of the Flower Moon, drifting off. That was about a year and a half ago. So it's not good when that happens. Now, the early part of the film was really heavy on details, and that means I found it overwhelming, trying to sift through what I need to know, what doesn't matter, and I find that difficult. No, I just pick up what I can, and I did get the gist of the message, and that was great. And I felt, gosh, it was about 23 minutes. I did actually check the time when the credits, the opening credits appeared on the film. And that's a bit like Rules of Attraction had that. You know, very late opening credits or, a huge length introduction. I mean, more than 10% of the way into the film, well over 10%. I mean, 10% to 17 minutes. Um, Now, to cope with 170 minutes with 2 hours 50, I mentally split it up in my mind, and it was really the last 70 minutes. I noticed when we were about 100 minutes in, and I was not checking the time all of the time, but my activity bracelet buzzes at 10 minutes it vibrates at 10 minutes to the hour when I haven't taken steps as a reminder for me to make activity. So I get a guide of where I am in a film often through that. And it was there was about 70 minutes left at that point. So effectively there was about an hour of actual film and then the credits was perhaps 6 or 7 minutes credits. I don't think it was that huge length of credits in this film. But I felt that final act, the final third of the film, was packed with excitement and it made it worthwhile. It made the whole film worthwhile. It made the earlier parts, which were a bit more the references to previous episodes, some of them that I remembered, some of them so far back that I'd sort of forgotten. I couldn't connect everything up, and so much detail. I mean, films can start to feel turgid because when you see as many films as I do, there's no way of remembering everything. And I think I remember a lot of details, but uh, some people specialize in particular films, and they win hands down in quizzes, but, you have to really like a film for that to be worthwhile. Mission Impossible as a series was not that quality. I don't think Marvel films or any sort of action films hold enough sway over me. But there was a lot in this film, like when Tom Cruise's character, dives into an icy sea. It's the Bering Straits, and he's succumbing to hypothermia. It's scenes like that that really got me thinking a lot. I appreciate films like that. Later on, there was some amazing aeroplane stunts. I really like that. That's what captivates me. The underwater scenes involving a submarine, again, very icy. There's there's hypothermia risk again. Then there's other stuff like oh gosh, the bends, the pressure, the lung, the damage that could be done to lungs. They could explode. And there's the most poignant scene, not always captured by cis straight love scenes, but when um he's like unconscious, there's a scene. I mean, it's not really a spoiler to say that he does survive quite far into the film. I'm not going to say if he survives to the end, but there's a scene after the submarine scene where his wife, or his ex-wife, Haley, oh, can't remember her surname, but she gives him the kiss of life, and it's like a kiss. It's a romantic kiss to start with, and that really was caused me to be slightly tearful. I felt really moved by that. So, um, there's a lot in, especially from that point onwards, all the way through the last bit. The tension had really built up. Everything, I understood the gist well enough. There's like the president, the dilemma the president's facing, and the president. Oh wow! I mean, the president, that showed me up as well. Simply that, um, it's almost like, a president I'd have liked to have been in power now in the USA rather than president we do have, who makes more um, ethical decisions. It seems a little bit more ethical. I mean, who's to say? I know that even like Obama gets criticized a lot for his decisions, but compared to the decisions of number 47, Obama was wonderful, in my opinion. Cards on the table politically there. Um, so, gosh, I mean, like, there's the nine nuclear powers, there's the threats as they gradually get targeted. There's this, it's a very modern take. There's this rogue this AI that's explained at the start that's causing a huge amount of threat to the world. And if it infiltrates all nine nuclear powers, or even if it, I mean, I don't know if it even takes out all of them, but you can see when it starts, when there's compromises for these nuclear states, um, there's consternation building up. I mean, there's two possibilities for a major crisis: a humanitarian, earth-threatening crisis, and one is global war, and the other is, I mean, is nuclear strikes, which again is very similar. I mean, an AI takeover where the AI gets control, and of course there are baddie individuals in this as well. Um, Now, a lot of it's based in in London. There's like Simon Pegg's character who, and I found h sometimes he comes across as a bit, well, he's a comic character in some ways, and he comes across as if he's not totally clued up, or maybe he lets his emotions get the better of him. But when it comes to it, when his health's threatened, he can talk through an operation being performed on him, explain how to be operated on. So there's a lot that's blows me away on this film. Really impressed. Now I've liked the Impossible series since Simon Pegg got involved. When he got involved, it really helped perk up the series. I mean, there's Tom Cruise running across London Thameslink tracks, Subterranean, there's King's Cross. It's just like there's all this stuff that is on my doorstep, and even like in Trafalgar Square, where there's these major protests, political protests going on at one point in this film. It really feels um, very present, alive, very much a kind of film that I gelled with a lot. It globe trots a lot. There's a lot of um, places featured from around the world, and stunning scenery, and just that whole thing, the travelogue element. So um, I was going to score it about 8.75 up until that final hour, and then I upped it to 9.25, and I think that's a score I'm sticking to because the final hour really made it worthwhile. You have to stick with the first 100 minutes or so just to um, understand it well enough. So the whole almost 3 hours to sit through it all, it didn't really feel like almost 3 hours. It felt like 2.5 hours, perhaps. Still long, but a bit more bearable. So 9.25. I'd love to know what you think about this film. Thanks for watching. Uh, if you like this film, please hit the like. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.